Hello everyone, Kildegard von Bangen here. I am super excited to jump right into this Best Friends Club playthrough of horror video game Look Outside. This game has been a pretty big hyperfixation of mine recently, much to the chagrin of my family, which is slightly ironic considering the entire game is basically about found family. It's about found family and killing eyeball monsters. Okay, so we can't forget about killing eyeball monsters. Right, but we're not just killing things in this game, okay? We're making friends with monsters too. And, you know, sometimes we're making friends with humans who look like monsters, or with monsters who look like humans. And we're also wondering what it means to be a human anyway. What does it mean to be a human in monstrous times? These are the questions that Look Outside asks, and boy oh boy, have I had fun exploring them. Okay. So we are gonna get started here. Also, if you know me from AO3, yeah, this is the same Kildegard von Bangen, because it turns out the only thing that I like more than being a transgender lesbian is media that focuses on sad men. So, the title of this playthrough is Best Friends Club, and in it, I'm going to show you how to quickly clear the base requirements of the game and explore the necessary rooms you need for story progression, while at the same time recruiting as many party members and making as many friends as possible. So if all goes to plan, by the end of this, we'll have recruited every single possible party member and explored the base rooms of the majority of the apartment by day 8. In a 15-day game that leaves half of the time left since you start on day 1. So, since my method takes 8 full days of the game, this obviously isn't a speed run, but in my opinion, it's a very effective way to set yourself up with a super strong party while exploring the majority of the apartment building, and leaving plenty of time to check out the alternate dimensions and hidden rooms to your heart's content, as well as pursuing whichever ending or endings you desire. I want you to be warned that this entire playthrough is going to be full of spoilers. If you're trying to prevent any specific spoiler, this is not the video for you, alright? You've been warned. Also note that I am playing in version 2.01, so this might be slightly different from how you remember it if you were one of the early players, or it might be slightly different / incomplete if further versions and patches expand the friendship opportunities. But here we are, starting Look Outside Best Friends Club. We're going through the beginning here. First things first, select Survivor mode, which I did just a little bit ago. If you're an experienced player and you want a challenge, you can go ahead and select Cursed mode, but I haven't tested any of this walkthrough on Cursed mode, so this might not be totally accurate. And also, you do not want to select Explorer mode for this walkthrough. It's very important that you don't if you're trying to get all companions, because selecting Explorer mode is going to lock you out of certain friend options later in the game. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. The base name of the character in this game is Sam, and that you can obviously name yourself whatever you want. But I am going to strongly recommend that you name yourself either Ash or Williams. Why, you ask? You'll find out very soon. It'll make more sense in context when I explain it later. So I'm going to name myself Ash for now. We are going to start by saying hello to our plant. You can take good care of your plant, because becoming best friends with your plant is actually an achievement you can unlock, by the way. So, here's the amazing synth music coming in. Gosh, I really love this soundtrack. And here's the rest of your crappy apartment in your crappy little apartment building. Okay, so you can go around, check it out, grab the first aid kit from the bathroom, grab the money from the table, we already did that. Check out your bookcase here. If you check out your bookcase 4 times, you find an extra video game to supplement the 3 you start with. Screamatorium, which we'll talk about video games a little bit later. Our first day is going to be pretty packed, so for right now we're just going to find it, and then we're going to go ahead and jump right out into the hall. First thing we're going to do is do the initial training part of the game by following the blood trail into the first room. We're going to take and equip the bat. So we're gonna skip through the whole wounded neighbor interaction, but the biggest thing that you're going to need to know is, for this playthrough, it is super important that you grab the kitchen knife from his body and that you equip it, because you do not want to damage the bat. We're gonna need it very soon for an enemy that is weak to crushing attacks. So you're gonna go up and around and enter this room here. You can either avoid the enemies or you can kill them real fast to increase your experience, which might level you up and increase your HP and stamina. You don't need to bother using any of your special attacks on pretty much any of these third floor enemies, okay? It's a waste of stamina. So we're gonna grab this key, save it. We're gonna use it real soon in a different room that has better stuff in it. The safe has like $100, so it's the safe in that room, that is. So it's not nothing, but you don't need it. There's better stuff in other locked rooms. Now, once you've cleared the first apartment, the tutorial apartment, apartment number 37, this one up here is gonna open up. We're gonna go up into this apartment, and we are not gonna focus on the enemies. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna grab all this stuff real fast. Your inventory is infinite in this game, at least as of 2.01, so you don't need to worry about overloading it. Something that is super important for this playthrough, you always want to loot every single garbage can, okay? So in this case, we found some junk, which is awesome. Junk seems like nothing, but it's actually a discrete item that goes into your inventory. You need to get 15 pieces of junk in order to recruit one of the people that we're trying to get into our party in the future, okay? So always check the garbage cans. Also, sometimes there's good stuff in them. So we are not going to explore all of the rooms in Vincent's apartment today. We will come back and finish all of it tomorrow. But for right now, we're not going to do everything, because we've got, limited time to do all the stuff that we want to do. In this game, time only passes when you're entering a new location, alright? So if you're just going through and clearing every single room, it's great, but the first time you do it, a whole bunch of time is gonna pass. And like I said, since our goal for this playthrough is just to get all the stuff that we need and recruit as many friends as possible, we're not gonna try to clear every single room quite yet. So once we've cleared out Vincent's apartment, Vincent was lurking around in the top left, right? We didn't talk to him because he tries to kill us, and I don't like killing people, so I'm not gonna talk to Vincent and force him to kill me, okay? Anyway, once we've done that, we're gonna run on over to the stairwell and quickly kill these two enemies. Now you'll see that we got a panic modifier that slightly reduces your attacks, but also, most importantly, it locks you out from your ability to do special attacks. See, if I go into my special attacks, they're grayed out. It doesn't really matter with these low-level enemies, but it's gonna matter in the future when you start battling higher-level enemies, so. Alright. So we're gonna unlock the stairwell doors with the padlock key that we got from the apartment with the wounded neighbor. We are going to run down to the bottom of the stairwell real fast here. We're not gonna try getting into any of these floors yet. All we are going to do is zip on down and grab this pool cue here by this horrifying, sad, dead guy. We're going to grab the pool cue. We are going to equip it because it's a slightly less effective weapon than the kitchen knife that we were using. But the next enemy that we're going to battle is weak to piercing damage, which the pool cue inflicts. Now, before we start going to try to fight that enemy, we're gonna pop into our apartment, get some food, and then save. Because, trust me, it's gonna be way less annoying that way if you are being thoughtful with when you save. So you don't have to redo things if you die. It's so much less annoying. Plus, as you'll see, when we come back into our apartment after being out doing things, we get a little bonus XP, which might level us up before we then leave and go do other things. And the benefit to that is you have higher HP and stamina if you're doing that. So more of a chance of beating the enemies that you're trying to beat. Sweet, we got some leftovers from this. You don't always get leftovers from cooking, but when you do, it's great, because it allows you to stay out longer doing more things. So we're going to talk to Sybil real fast, we're going to save our game, and then we're not going to have to redo any of this shit, which is great. I'm going to save over the first file from my testing playthrough here. And I'm just going to continue saving day 1 under file 1 and day 2 under file 2 and so forth. But if you're paying attention, you can see a little preview of what we might be doing in the icons of the save files. Alright, so once we've saved, we're going to take a look, see what Sam's HP is at. 86. Okay, we want that to be maxed before we try to attack the grinning beast. I'm gonna use a bandage because I don't want to waste my leftovers or my chalky bar since my stamina is maxed. So we're gonna run back out into the hallway and we're going to zip on down to the 2nd floor. Okay, we can either talk to Aster now or save it for later. This is Aster. He's recruitable, and we are going to have to talk to him eventually to unlock various ending options, since he's one of the astronomers who's sort of the key to the whole game. But since he's always hanging around down here in the 2nd floor corridor, he's easy enough to get through, so I'm just going to ignore him for now. We're going to go over here. We're going to go past this creepy boarded up door, behind which is our first friend. Spoiler alert. Let's grab this key. This is the key to Lyle's apartment, who is also our friend. Oh no, it's getting spooky. Oh, here comes the beast. Let's go get it. Okay. This is the grinning beast. She's very scary. But she's weak to piercing attacks and only has 300 HP. So we should be able to beat her, even with it being early enough in the game. What we're going to do is we're going to special attack her with our pool cue. Now we have enough stamina that we should be able to do 4 special attacks at minimum. Whenever you see this prompt, the grinning beast's jaws open wide, you need to select guard because that means she's going to inflict multiple attacks and just kill you right away. But since we are guarding, she skipped one completely, which is great. Let's try reckless attack. Ooh, reckless attack worked. That's good. Okay, we are pretty close to 200 HP, so hopefully if we do an impale attack, that should just kill her immediately. Oh, good. We got her. Alright, so we have successfully killed the grinning beast. And then what we gotta do is we gotta run after her as she runs away. She's retreating. Oh, what's this? What is this? So we're gonna go up into this creepy dark room and... Hello! Turns out the beast is actually a cute little gremlin named Lee. And she is gonna be our very first friend. All you gotta do is say, yeah, we'll hang out. Now she's part of your party. Look, she's gonna follow you around. If you click on up here, it's gonna, there you go, you can see her, you can give her a weapon if we want. Actually, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna give her the golf club because we're gonna need that soon enough. After we've gotten Lee, we're gonna run back and we are gonna grab this gun here. So we just gave Lee the golf club. We're gonna now equip Sam here, or Ash, with the baseball bat and the pistol. So we've unlocked Apartment 21. We could go visit Lyle, but first we're gonna go down and visit Jean. Jean is not recruitable, but she's gonna be one of our friends. Jean is having a hard time. She has little faces growing all over her, and she's not feeling too great, so she offers for us to go and get her clothes. And here's what we find out. You can't get to the ground floor except through the secret passage that Lyle has. Anyway, the main reason that we're in here is to steal all her stuff. So we're gonna just loot Jean's apartment real fast, because like she's our friend, but you know, what's a little larceny between friends? We're gonna get all this stuff. Get all her food out of her fridge. Grab this cleaver. That's a good weapon. Okay, so like how I mentioned before, when you are looting rooms, you should always loot garbage cans. You should also always check medicine cabinets. Okay, now, I don't know if you saw that little guy on the floor. That was a cockroach who just ran into your bags. If you look in your bags, he is down in there now. So, the roaches actually can become a friend too, eventually. Turns out a whole bunch of the roaches looked outside and got magic powers and stuff, so you want to be friends with it. So you're not going to kill it, you're going to put it back in your bag, because roaches are friends, not food. Okay. So while I was in looking at my item tabs, I noticed that my main guy is still not doing too well. So let's heal him back up with those leftovers and the chocolate bar. Ugh, I really don't want to eat this muffin right away. We want to save that for one of our other friends, but it's super important that you are at max HP before we battle our next person. So I'm gonna have to do that. So let's run in and we'll talk to Lyle real fast. Lyle is recruitable. It takes a couple days for you to recruit him, and there's specific tasks you have to do in order, okay, to be successful with that. A lot of people think Lyle's kind of a creep because he kind of is, right? But I kind of like him, and you know what? He's a surprisingly strong party member, and he's got some very good special attacks. So, the first step to recruiting him is you have to agree to kiss him when he says so. You also have to agree to close your eyes. Because Lyle is like a weird camera monster now, and he's really sensitive about it, so... yeah, he's kind of a creep, but... it's alright. Okay, so we're gonna grab Lyle's stuff, including this crossword puzzle book. You can use that for some particular things in the game later on. Ah, sweet, we got some gummy bears. Gummy bears as a snack will increase your HP. Not by a lot, but it means I probably didn't need to waste that bandage. But you never know what you're gonna find in the garbage cans. Okay, so like Lyle said, there is an eyeball monster in here. We're not worried about him right now. We're just here to loot the medicine cabinet. And then run away. Okay, so it's gonna be annoying to go back upstairs and save so quickly, but trust me, this is something you're gonna want to do. Trust me on this. Okay, so we are back in our apartment now. That means the cockroach has gotten out of our bags and taken up hiding in our apartment, which is important. Sounds gross, but that's the first step towards the cockroach becoming sentient and becoming your buddy. But, like I said, we're here to save, so we're gonna run over to Sybil and we're going to save with her. When I recommend a save, it's because I've played through many times and identified the places where you're very likely to die. And it's so annoying. So annoying having to redo all of the little tasks. So once we've saved, we're gonna come back down, go back into this bathroom. We're gonna avoid fighting the eyeball thing. And we are gonna run down here, take this secret spooky passage. Now, this second room, if you might recommend you run down right through the middle, because otherwise it triggers this annoying battle with these rats. Ugh, so annoying. So annoying because sometimes, like, there's 3 rats and they can just inflict a lot of damage on you, which is stupid because we really need to be at max HP and max stamina for what we're trying to do next, which is kill the Rat King. Now, it is hard to kill the Rat King at this point because he has 700 HP. He also might charm you, which means that one of your party members might attack you instead of the king. So you'll see that I saw him coming and I zipped back up in here to escape. That's because I heard the ominous music, and you can kind of hear it building again. Okay, so don't get me wrong, it is difficult to kill the Rat King this early in the game. He has 700 HP. It's hard to do with just 2 party members. But I very sincerely think that it's worth it, and I will explain why later. So as long as you save your game right before you are engaging with him, holy crap, here he is. As long as you save your game right before you're engaging with him, I think it's worth it to keep trying to kill him. Okay, let's, click. Okay, so I clicked on my items tab real fast right before he got to us and initiated the battle, and the reason I'm doing that is because it is super important that before the battle starts, we use the anxiety meds on Lee, or whoever our strongest party member is. And the reason we do that is because the first attack the Rat King's going to inflict on us has the possibility to charm a party member, which means that they will be fighting for the Rat King instead of for your party. And trust me, you do not want Lee to get charmed and start killing Ash, because that just makes the battle over so fast at this point. So we're going to give those anxiety meds to Lee. And then the battle starts. Alright, Rat King time. Okay, very important to inflict some damage early on. The Rat King is too far for your melee attacks to hit right now, so you don't want to bother doing your melee attacks. What you're going to do is you're going to have Sam or Ash shoot him with a pistol, and you're going to have Lee throw a dinner plate, which inflicts crush damage to him. We got the dinner plate from Vincent's apartment, so we're going to do that. Nice, 30 damage. Missed one. Dang it, Ash! You missed 2 of your shots. What the hell? Alright, this is where we're gonna do something that seems counterintuitive. We are going to kneel when he tells us to, which seems totally insane. Especially because, like, this damage I'm talking about, this is the one that can inflict charm. So you see, Sam is charmed now. So he's either gonna hurt himself or hurt Lee when we're fighting. But we're still gonna try to do this battle. Let's see if we can get through to him. God damn it, Ash. Nice. I did not think that was going to happen. Okay, so we are both injured pretty severely. Our HP is very low, but we successfully killed the Rat King. Okay, this is why I kept going on and on about how important it was to kill the Rat King, and why I said we're gonna kneel even when it seems really counterproductive. So, if you don't kneel when the Rat King tells you to, after he dies, the crown is just gonna crumble away into dust. But if you do kneel, he's gonna give you the crown. Woo! We got the rusty crown now, and this is gonna make the rest of our day one so much easier. Okay, so what we are gonna do... Ugh, wow, I don't like having to waste these bandages so early, but yeah, I can give both of us a bandage. We're going to equip that crown on Ash. So, to do that, we're gonna click Optimize on Lee, and then we're gonna click Optimize on Ash. The crown feels deathly cold. You hear the squeaking of rats in your head. Ho ho ho. Okay, so once we've killed the Rat King, we're going to find a north-south hallway. We're going to go either up or down it until we find an east-west hallway that has these green exit signs. Okay, so the first floor is a maze, but it's a maze that repeats. So the north-south hallways, each one should be the same, and the east-west hallways also should be the same. So like on this hallway, you're always going to have this same combination of doors, right? It's always going to be apartment 13 and then this apartment 12. And the north-south hallways, you're always going to have, okay, this is Ernest. We're not going to go in there anymore, but you're always going to have that. And then you are always going to have pretty much just it. But, like, you're not going to have Ernest's apartment and then all of a sudden there's another door over here. Because this apartment is the same, no matter what, even though it repeats in a loop. So, once we found the place with the green exit hall, we are going to zip on over all the way over to the elevator, which is at the far left, or the far west. We're going to see if our future friend Audrey is hanging out here. She is not, okay? When Audrey is around, she's going to be right around here, which is abandoned right now. So we're going to ignore Audrey, and we are going to go find the rat baby thing, our next new friend. So their apartment is the south door on the hall with the green exit signs closest to the elevator, which is convenient. So this one. Alright. I'm going to mute the sound effects because the crying baby really upsets me, so you're just going to hear me talking for a little while, which means the audio is probably going to be better, but anyway. We're going to do our thing, we're going to loot, and now, in this apartment, we are going to see why I was so intent on looting that crown, which is that when anyone in your party is wearing the crown, no rat enemy is going to attack you. They will talk to you instead, and sometimes they'll give you little gifts, and the dialogue is just cute and funny. So, see, like, this big guy, oh, that's ominous. He's like, oh, one day there'll be a new king. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, this makes the rest of day one so much easier. So, we're gonna do what we normally do in any new apartment. We are gonna loot everything, including all the food. Nice, a chef's knife. Those are always good. Gonna take Grandma's ashes here. Let's see what we got in here. Great, some toothpaste. This is a letter about, like, how to play the game. We don't need to read that because I am gonna tell you. But yeah, it's just really nice not to have to deal with fighting a whole bunch of little rats and getting dealt a stupid amount of damage per each, same dumb little rat. Put on that vest. That gives us a little bit of slashing damage. I'm gonna grab this child barrier key. Gonna grab these magazines. We can sell all this stuff. Oh, and look, there's some dirty magazines too. Haha. So we're gonna grab those. We can sell them to some merchant. Then we are going to unlock this door. We're gonna go in and see what we can find. Gonna steal the baby drawings because that's gonna be my baby soon, and we gotta save its stuff to put in a little scrapbook. Gonna take this music box. We're gonna check out what's in here. Aw, he's just a little guy. Now, it doesn't matter what you select. It's gonna be the same. No matter what you select, it doesn't allow you to take it. Your character is just too freaked out by it. But that's good, because when you leave, oh, he follows you. What a little cutie. Okay, so if you were to go back to your apartment right now, the rat baby would just stay in your inventory. He doesn't become an available member of your party until you do a couple other things that are kind of unpleasant. And in order to do those things, the first step is you gotta walk until you find this weird red... this sort of gross umbilical cord type thing. And this will guide you to apartment 13, which you're gonna go into. I'm gonna turn the volume back on here now that we don't have to listen to crying babies anymore. Okay, so now we are in room 13. Oh, and we already can't leave. So once we've gone in, check it out. Infinite hallway. We're not able to leave until we talk to this face on the wall. Okay, bro. Yeah. Ugh! Rude. We are not going to feed it our new little rat baby. We are going to try to leave. Oh, he says, why not feed me? Well, bro, because we don't feed you babies. That's just not what we do, okay? So, you can select any of these other options except for eating the arm, and none of these other options are going to work. You're not going to be able to get out of the room. Unless if you offer to feed it your arm. This is the only way to save the rat baby. You can feed it the rat baby. But I'm going to judge you if you do. So we're just going to skip to that, and we're just going to feed him Ash's arm right away. Okay, now this is why I insisted that we name our character Ash. Because you permanently lose some of your abilities when you lose an arm. But if your name is Ash or Williams, which is, I guess, an Evil Dead Easter egg, I don't know, I don't really game, I don't know any of that shit. Anyway, if you have that name, you can still equip some weapons that you wouldn't otherwise be able to, even after you lose your arm. Specifically, if you lose your ability to use melee weapons, you can still equip the shotgun, even though it's a two-handled weapon. And likewise, if you choose to lose your ability to use ranged weapons, you maintain the ability to use the chainsaw, even though that's a two-handed weapon as well. I used to just always lose my right arm, but I realized recently that that's not the best option. I think that if you retain your ability to use melee weapons, your character can inflict a lot more damage in battles. So I kind of learned that the hard way. So let's get this over with. Let's sell our left arm. Alright, so that's done. And hey, check it out. The rat baby loves us now. Aw, he's so cute. Okay, so you get this disc whether you feed it your arm or whether you feed it the baby. This is the Earth disc. You need this. These are keys to get around the apartment building. And look, the infinite hallway is gone, and we can just leave now. So that's great. So what we're gonna go right to the crossways. We are gonna go up 2 halls, 1, 2, and then if we go left, we should be able to find apartment 11, which we need to use the Earth disc to unlock. The number 1 is etched onto the handle. 1 means the number of moons, and Earth has 1 single moon, so that means that if we put this disc in, it should open the door. We're gonna go in here. And here's this horrible enemy who's very powerful called the Rat Freak, but since we're wearing the crown, he's not gonna attack us. He's gonna give us a present, actually. Those are piercing weapons. They're not like super powerful, but they're nice to have if you're battling an enemy that's weak to piercing. I'm gonna unequip them right now because I want Lee to have the ability to have the gun as well. Alright, so we are in here to grab this disc, the Mars disc. We need this. We're gonna take this, and we are gonna leave. Alright, there's a room here. We're not gonna go into it. It's got like a creepy necklace at the end of a hall that isn't very good, so we're just gonna ignore that. Also, we don't want too much time to be passing, like I said. The amount of stuff that we can do in a single day is limited based on how many new rooms we enter. Once we've done that, we have the discs that we need to get down to the ground floor. And the way that we're going to get down to the ground floor, we're going to find a north-south hallway that has the green exit signs again. So here we are, and we're just going to follow it all the way to the right, which will get us to the stairwell. So let's unlock the stairwell doors, and now we'll be able to get into floor 1. They're unlocked for the rest of the game now, so that's great. We're going to zip on down to the ground floor, and we are going to use our Earth disc and our Mars disc together to get into the ground floor. We just have a few more things that we have to do here. It's been a long day. We've been very thoughtful with what we've chosen to do. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to run into the laundromat. We really need all this stuff in here for crafting. So we're just going to loot all this stuff. You can ignore that t-shirt in the top left because we don't want to bother fighting the laundry snake, and it's hard to avoid him if we're trying to get that t-shirt real hard. This is Jean's clothes, so we're going to take these back. We're going to grab this cloth real fast, then we're going to run away from the laundry snake. He's not that hard to avoid. We just don't want to deal with him right now. Let's grab this herbicide right now. We're not going to use it. We're going to go into this room, which is the men's bathroom. Going to do our thing, which is loot everything, including the garbage. Now we're going to talk to this guy. This is Papa. Papa Nu, or I don't know. I'm not French. However the heck you pronounce it. He is going to be our second friend, our second party member. He is very, very powerful. So we are going to talk to him. And then we're going to ask him if he needs any help. And when we ask him this, we're going to tell him, okay, I've used a mop. I mean, I hope that your main characters use the mop, like basic life skills. Anyway, once you tell him this, he's going to offer to appoint you as deputy janitor, and all you got to do is say you accept, and great, now he's in our party too. Papa is a very powerful party member. A lot of people will use him as the tank. We'll talk a little more about that later. Alright, so once he's in our party, we're going to look in this last stall and grab this key. We're gonna avoid the guys. This is Nestor. We're not gonna talk to him right now. Someone's hiding in this stall. He's just minding his own business. We're not gonna talk to him either. We've had a very long day. We lost our arm. It was traumatic. We're gonna go back upstairs and go to sleep. So. home sweet home. Little rat thing is jumping out of our bags and hanging out in our house now. Now we're going to give it a name, and I am going to name him Sweet Pea because he's a little sweet pea, and that's what I name him every single time. And I am right about that, and there is truly no other option. That's correct. So that's why we're going to do that. So he's just a little guy. He needs to be cleaned up. He stinks. He's scared. We're going to soothe him a little bit. Oh, nice. Lee is helping out already. Okay, so when you're back in your apartment and you're interacting with your party members, it's going to occasionally, randomly, trigger these interactions between party members, which, honestly, is really some of the beauty of the game. So we found out from that interaction that Sweet Pea eats blood. Right now he's not hungry. I would say he looks hungry when we interact with him. So he's just dirty. We're gonna give him a little bath. And then we are gonna give ourselves a little bath. We're gonna go jump in the shower. And then after we shower, we're gonna brush our teeth. You feel stressed. Yeah, no wonder you feel stressed. You lost your arm. He'll feel less stressed as the day goes on. As the week goes on. Okay. So once we've cleaned up, freshened up a little bit, we're gonna run back out. It is 8:30. We're gonna interact with Sweet Pea a little bit. There's a set number of interactions that you can have with him at the beginning that will sort of progress him as a character. Talking and playing. You can do them over the next few days, or you can do them all at once. They don't seem to make time pass. You'll notice from the little clock up in the top middle that it's still 8:30 p.m. Look, he just said our name! Aw! What a cutie! And then if we play with him a little more... Oh no, we scared him! Ah! But he can walk now. Yay! Okay, so we've progressed him a little bit. We can interact with him more later on. So, Sweet Pea can become a party member once he grows up, which it happens pretty quick. I don't know about grow up. Once he grows into, like, the point where he can walk and stuff, there'll be a little notification at the beginning of a day that says, you can now take the rat baby with you on excursions. I don't like using him as a party member because I don't really believe in child soldiers, so I'm not gonna worry about, like, progressing him too fast by just blowing through all the interactions. So we're just gonna get to know him a little bit. Alright, that was a lot of stuff today. But there was a reason for everything we did, okay? You only get one chance to recruit Lee, and you can only recruit Papa from the bathroom if you have one or fewer party members. So as soon as you recruit a third party member, which can happen randomly from a door interaction, or as soon as the rat baby grows up, which happens within a couple days, you're going to have more than one party member. So that means that, like, you're not going to be able to find Papa in the bathroom anymore. He's going to be inside a locked janitor's closet, which it's really hard to get the key to those closets until later in the game. So you might miss your chance to recruit him completely. And if you do happen to find him in the bathroom and you don't recruit him, when you go into the bathroom later, he's going to be dead. So that's really sad. So we're going to grab him now. Since it's only 8:30, we have time to play some video games. I'll talk very briefly about video games. Playing them does help your morale and your social. Now we have 5 because we started with 3. We found 1 in our closet, or in our little bookshelf here, and then we found we found 1 in Vincent's apartment as well. When you complete a video game, it gives you a special skill. And a skill that I like to obtain is called Nitro Boost, which you get from completing Mad Wheels, a little racing game. It takes, I think, between 8 and 10 hours of play to complete Mad Wheels. Each game spends a little more or less time to complete it and get the skill. So we're going to play for 2 hours. Now it should be 10:30, and we are going to go to sleep. Another reason that I did the stuff I did this game, or this day, and I didn't overdo, like going into every single room in Vincent's apartment, is because if you go to sleep too late, you will oversleep, which it's not like that's a problem because I think it's better to be a morning person or whatever. It's because the total amount of time that you have available is dependent on the amount of hours in the day. So if you go to sleep at midnight and you wake up at noon, which seems to happen a lot if you go to sleep between like 11:30 and like 1:30, you'll wake up at noon or later, you've slept for maybe 12 hours. Whereas here, we went to sleep at 10:30, and now look, it's 5:40, which means that we slept a total of 7 hours, and that's 5 more hours of time in the day that you have total to do things. Whereas if you would have gone to sleep at midnight, woken up at noon, that's 12 hours of sleep total compared to the 7 hours of sleep that we took. I'll talk a little more on the next playthrough, or on the next day, as to why that amount is important. But for right now, you've completed the first day. You have 2 party members, 1 future party member, and you've unlocked like 2 different floors. So that is a lot of stuff to do for a single day. And it is bright and early in the morning, and we have a full day ahead of us. It's going to be fantastic. So I will see you on day 2. We'll talk a little more about all this. And yeah, have a great day, and I'm looking forward to talking to you.